hear that strange and exciting music? Those are bagpipes, playing the songs of the proud men who live in the mountains of Scotland. Highlanders, they're called. They tell many wonderful stories, the Highlanders do, and one of their favorites is about Rob Roy, who lived more than 200 years ago. Rob was for Robert, and Roy was the Highlanders' word for red, because Rob Roy was a red-headed man. His last name was MacGregor, and he was the brave leader of all the Scotsmen with that name, the Clan MacGregor. When the bagpipes sounded like this, it meant that the MacGregors were happy. And this was the music they played on the joyous day when their chief, Rob Roy, was married. Rob Roy, of course, was the happiest of them all.
To my fair and bonny bride, Helen Mary.
Three cheers for Rob Roy and Helen Mary!
Come, MacGregors, let us all dance now.
And then suddenly the sound of the bagpipes died away, for into the happy party marched a group of soldiers, and their officer's face was very stern as he spoke to the MacGregors.
I come to read a message from the King of England. The King says that because the Clan MacGregor does not obey all his orders, it shall be against the law from now on for anyone to call himself by the name MacGregor.
What do you say to this, Rob Roy?
I know who's to blame for this wicked law. It is not the work of the king, but of the Duke of Montrose, who wants to take away all our lands.
Silence! I have another message. I am to arrest the chief of your clan, Rob Roy.
And so they took Rob Roy prisoner. He went with the soldiers without arguing, but he knew that he must get away from them soon in order to help his people. Later that day, as the soldiers were marching Rob Roy to prison, they came to a stream.
Let's cross here, men. Get along there, Rob MacGregor.
But like a flash, Rob Roy suddenly dove under the water and swam out into the deep part of the stream.
Look out, men! Rob Roy's escaping. He's swimming toward the waterfall.
Yes, Rob Roy was really swimming toward a waterfall, but he knew this river well, and over the fall he went without hurting himself at all. The soldiers couldn't follow him. Their officer was angry.
We'll catch you yet, Rob Roy!
No, you won't. Not while your Duke of Montrose makes my clansmen sour. You tell him this. As long as he bothers the MacGregors, he'd better beware of Rob Roy.
When the bagpipes sounded like this, it meant that the MacGregors were sad, and they had good reason to be sad. For while their chief, Rob Roy, was hiding in the hills, the Duke of Montrose sent his roughest soldiers to call the MacGregors together and collect the rent. When the crowd had gathered, the officer spoke to the nearest MacGregor.
All right, pay your money here.
There you are.
Now, pay it again.
No. The Duke of Montrose has no right to make us pay double rent.
Oh, he has no right, eh? This pistol is his right. Now pay it again. That's better. Of course, you can have all that money back if you wish. It's a reward for the man who leads us to Rob Roy.
Looking for Rob Roy, are you? Well, here I am.
Yes, it was Rob Roy himself. He had slipped in quietly behind the soldiers and completely surprised them. Before they could catch their breath, the MacGregors took their pistols away. Rob Roy spoke again.
We'll throw these pistols into the lake, and you soldiers will return every penny of the extra rent. Then tell your master this. Catch me if you can, but leave my clansmen alone.
With that, Rob Roy slipped away as quickly as he had come, back into the hills. And whenever the Duke or his men would harm a MacGregor, Rob Roy would suddenly appear again, striking back in unexpected ways, even stealing from the Duke of Montrose himself. But though he escaped each time as if by magic, Rob Roy was only one man against many. The Duke's soldiers were causing great unhappiness amongst the MacGregors, and finally Rob Roy decided that it was time for the whole clan to join him. This was the battle music of the McGregors. Rob Roy was very angry now and ready to fight anyone who stood in his way, even though this would start a war with the King of England. Rob Roy's best friend, the Duke of Argyll, went to far-off London to try to explain to the king.
Your Highness, Rob Roy means well, but he's angry now, and he is ready to go to war, even against you.
Rob Roy is a stubborn man. I must send my army to punish him. What is that sound?
Your Highness, it is the bagpipes of the McGregors. It is Rob Roy.
Rob Roy, what are you doing here?
Your Highness, we have marched all this way in search of justice. We do not wish to hurt innocent people in a war. We ask you to give us back our name of McGregor and allow us to live in peace.
Rob Roy, you are a good man, and I give you back your name. The Duke of Montrose has misled me about you, and he is the one who shall be punished.
Thank you, Your Highness.
And so the proud clan McGregor marched back to the Highlands of Scotland, and brave Rob Roy, with his bonny bride Helen Mary, lived happily till the end of his days.